I am interviewing a Gen Zer named Sam Adkins, who makes short films and animation things.
I use a bunch of technology in what I do. My computer is like my #1 tool. I do all my animations through that. I use Adobe software, Adobe Animate, and the Creative Cloud, and I edit them in like Premiere Pro, which is another Adobe software. I'm a traditionally trained artist and took classes that were mainly on sketching and painting, and so having that pencil feel is really useful. So I actually didn't start animating until this year. Yeah, so I'm pretty new into this. I've storyboarded for a while now, which mini sketches, basically that'll help me plan for what I'm actually going to animate so I don't have to draw unnecessary stuff. This practice is used in other modes of filmmaking, definitely not just animation, because it just really helps have a good idea of where the viewer is going to catch, get some good dynamics in where all the characters are going to be playing and all the colors are. And so that was something that that's something I've been doing for a while. It was a lot of fun to do this, and it was nice being able to have a confirmed deadline because I got to experience what it's like to be an actual animator and what an actual director and artist does, where you have a deadline and you got to work to get it done. And like some nights I'm staying up super late. I made it with my friend Jose Hernandez, who's a freshman here at St. Joe, and he helped me write it. The original film that I storyboarded was 300 scenes, and I needed to shorten that to 21 to make it manageable. And he helped me figure out how to narrate that, narrow that down, and figure out the narration and the narrative to figure out how we can tell such a long story in such a short amount of time. The film is called Beyond the Grave.
Yeah.
And it's about a skeleton who's the mailman of the graveyard and basically delivers mail messages and letters and roses and flowers from the people who are living to their dead relatives in the graveyard. All right, so the inspiration for my film was really I love horror and macabre, but not super scary horror, but more historical and that kind of stuff. That's sort of funny and it's very dramatic. And so I watched a bunch of old films like Nosferatu, which was the first appearance of a vampire or something, and I actually emulated a bunch of that film grain when I was editing it. And so I tried to make a filter. I designed a filter to go over the entire thing to make it look like that kind of style. I've always loved animation. I've loved cartoons. I love Disney so much. I also love Looney Tunes and stuff. And I think the power of it is that there's certain exaggerated movements and stuff that stands out to artists and cartoonists about humans, whether it's face shape or it's motion like an animation, that doesn't get videographed correctly or in a way that really shows how sometimes I think a childlike mind views stuff as very exaggerated and expressive, and sometimes you can't capture that with film and camera.